Amazon is just selling everything for you. That's cool.
Right.
I'm going to do that. So I quit right away.
Oh, wow. You just like without any plan, you just like quit to start working on it. So, all right. So let's dive into sourcing then. How would you describe your experience as you started to learn how to source? Like what people love failures. People love when things don't go right, right? Like they like to learn from that. So like what did you start to do and how did it fail? Because everybody fails when they
Right.
first
So
start.
I'll just take it back just one step, if you don't mind.
Sure.
From that, when I was working that job, eventually I realized, I was commuting to work an hour and back, and I was in the metro, and there were millions other people. At least I felt like a million other people, and you're just standing there in the car. It just started to feel real bad. I hated it. I hated to get up. I got late for work. I was the
Everybody can
first one
relate
to
to this. Yeah,
right. I was the first
everybody.
one to clock out, and it just didn't feel right. So, and then when I was in Vietnam, I meet this guy, and he's 30 years old, and he's retired. I'm like, come on, like how is that possible? So I thought he has rich parents or whatever, but it turned out he had his own business, and then he just took the money from the business, bought real estate, and just living off that, which was kind of cool. And that was my eye opener on how that this is even possible. Like he's a 30-year-old guy and he's retired. Like there's something else out
Somebody
there.
figured something out and you're like, how do I do that?
Correct. I wanted to do that. And back then, that was 5 years ago. So that was just when Amazon just started, like when just became
Got big.
popular,
Yeah.
to be yeah, people started selling, right? Back then you put something on and it sold. At least that was kind of the idea. That was, I think Jungle Scout was just out. And it was like the very, very, very beginning of Amazon. And so I thought, well, it's so easy, right? I had one or two guys that were doing Amazon podcasts back then, and it seems so easy. Like you just put your product up, and Amazon is just selling everything for you. That's cool.
Right.
I'm going to do that. So I quit right away.
Oh, wow. You just like without any plan, you just like quit to start working on it.
Yeah, I had about $7,000 saved, and I was like, look, that should do it, right? So I'm just going to buy some products and slap them up, and probably next year I can be a
And then
millionaire, right? That was
passive
the
income,
idea.
right? Like it just starts.
So easy. Yes. Everyone speaks about it. Man, it's so easy. You just put it up and Amazon does everything for you. And,
Yeah.
of course, I believe because now I just met the guy and I was like, okay, like he did something and he was also starting on Amazon. I was like, well, maybe there's something to it. So he also moved back to China. So I met him in Vietnam. He moved back to China and we're kind of like, we lived nearby. So we met up sometimes and he was a real smart guy and taught me a lot of the beginnings of Amazon. But it didn't really turn out that way. So I started it up and basically lost all my money. So it was through the sourcing process, and this is really what I want to get to why it was so hard for me. I didn't even get to the platform. Like I thought it takes a month. You go on Alibaba. I'm in China. Come on, it just can't take long to get a sample, right? And within a month or two, I should be up and selling, right? I should have my product sourced and can ship it, and we're good. And it just wasn't that way, right? So I was reaching out to suppliers with 5 questions. They were only sending me back one, right? I
You're
was
too small. I don't want to
ordering.
work with you. Yeah.
I ordered a sample, and what I got back was just completely different. Like it was not the right quality, it was not the right thing. And I wanted to have something custom, of course. I wanted to have something with my own logo, and I wanted to
Right.
make changes. But I only ordered 1,000 units back then, and that was so tricky and hard to get. So that after 3 months, I found someone, and they worked with me, and they were willing to. They gave me a price that was like it was okay. And then after 3 months, when I wanted to ship it, they said, "Oh, by the way, we made a mistake. So the price needs to go up. We quoted you the wrong thing, and the price doubled." And I couldn't afford
Doubles.
that. I couldn't afford that. So I was like, "Okay, then I need to order half the units." And like, "Oh, we can't do that. We have an MOQ." Right. So maybe you need to find a different supplier. So I spent 3 months of that. I basically blew
Mm.
all the savings that I had on my living expenses because smart me quit my job. Right. So who needs a job? I hate my job, but somehow the income stops as well. Right. So once that stopped, it was a bit, I was in trouble. Right. I couldn't pay my bills. I was only able to ship half of the goods because I ran out of money. I didn't have enough money to ship everything. I just shipped half of the products. Eventually once I got it later, but we'll get to that how I actually managed that.